You ever wonder what's left of a man when you strip him of everything he thought mattered? When you take away his voice, his reaction, his rage, and leave him with nothing but silence? You know what that silence does? It rots him from the inside out. It eats him alive, bit by bit, until there's nothing left but an empty shell pretending to be human. And you're starting to look a lot like that. See, people always think that pain is loud. They expect screams, punches, rage. But the real pain, the real suffering, it's quiet. It sits in your chest like a dead weight, suffocating you slow. No response, no emotion, just nothing. That's what's killing you. And the best part? It's exactly what they wanted. They took from you, didn't they? Took and took and took until there was nothing left to steal. And you, being the fool that you are, let them. Not because you were weak. No. That would be too easy. You let them because you thought they'd stop. Because you thought if you stayed quiet, if you didn't fight back, they'd finally be satisfied. But here's the thing. People like that, they don't stop. They don't get satisfied. They keep taking until you're nothing but a ghost in your own damn life. And when they finally look at you, when they see what's left, they don't feel guilt. No. They feel boredom. You see, that's the joke. The cruel, sick little joke that life keeps playing on people like you. The moment you stop reacting, the moment you stop caring, they stop noticing you. You become invisible, like a toy they've grown tired of, tossed aside, forgotten, left to rust in some dark corner where nobody ever looks. And you're just standing there, watching the world move on without you. Tell me, how's that feel? How's it feel knowing you were never worth more than a distraction to them? That the moment you stopped making noise, they stopped seeing you as human? Hurts, doesn't it? Cuts deep. Because you spent your whole damn life trying to be good, trying to be kind, trying to be the type of person people care about. But the truth? People don't care. They never did. And the ones who pretended to, they were just using you, draining you dry, until you had nothing left to give. And now, here you are, a walking corpse. Not dead, no, but not really alive either. Just existing. Passing through the days like a shadow, empty, hollow, with nothing left inside you but a quiet kind of misery. And that is the worst kind of death. The kind that keeps you breathing, but kills everything else. But see, here's the thing. That silence they forced you into, that emptiness, it's not permanent. No. It's a choice. A prison you built for yourself because you thought it was safer in there. Because you thought if you shut the world out, if you stopped feeling, stopped caring, you wouldn't get hurt again. And maybe, for a while, That was true. But now, it's killing you. And you have a decision to make. You either stay in that prison, rotting away, letting them win, or you burn the whole damn thing down. I know. You don't think you've got it in you. You think you're too far gone, too broken, too lost to ever come back. But that's just another lie they fed you. Because let me tell you something about people like us. We don't break. We bend, we shatter, we fall apart, sure, but we don't break. No. We adapt, we learn, and when we get back up, we're not the same fools they left behind. We're something else entirely. You want to know what happens when a man stops caring about their approval? When he stops needing their validation, he becomes dangerous, unpredictable. He stops playing by their rules, stops waiting for their permission. He stops being the easy target, the safe bet, the doormat. And suddenly, they don't know what to do with him. You want to know why they hate people like me? Why they fear me? It's not because I'm violent. It's not because I cause chaos. It's because I don't give a damn. I don't seek their love, their acceptance, their pity. I don't let their opinion shape me, and that terrifies them. Because the moment you stop needing them, you take back your power. And that's what you have to do. You have to take it back. You have to remind them who the hell they're dealing with. You have to show them that you're not some broken, defeated thing crawling through life, waiting to die. You have to stop being silent. Stop being invisible. Stop letting their neglect, their betrayal, their indifference turn you into a corpse before your time. You're still here, aren't you? Still breathing, still standing. That means you've got fight left in you. And I don't care how tired you are, how much it hurts, how much you want to disappear. You don't get to give up. Not now, not ever. Because the second you give up, they win. And I don't know about you, but I hate losing. Get up, get angry, get dangerous. Start living like someone who's got nothing left to lose. Because when you stop caring about their approval, their love, their validation, that's when you become free. And when you're free, well, let's just say, that's when the real fun begins. You think they'll come back if you wait long enough? You think one day they'll wake up and realize what they did? How they broke you? How they turned you into a hollow shell? Number. That day will never come. Because they don't look back. They don't reflect. They don't sit in bed at night thinking about you, replaying the moments they cut you down, remembering the times they left you out in the cold. No, they sleep just fine. While you're still sitting there choking on the silence they left behind, hoping, no, praying that maybe, just maybe, they'll feel something. But they won't. And the sooner you accept that, the sooner you can stop bleeding for people who would never even shed a tear for you. You see, this world doesn't care about people like you. People who feel too much. People who give without thinking. Who love without limits. Who believe in things like loyalty, honesty, and decency. No, this world chews up people like you and spits them out because you are rare, and rare things, they're either exploited or destroyed. And you let them exploit you. You let them drain you dry until there was nothing left. And now you're sitting here, empty, wondering why it hurts so much. But that's the trick, isn't it? The biggest scam of them all? They make you feel like it's your fault, like you were the problem, like if only you were a little less kind, a little less patient, a little less trusting, maybe they would have stayed. But that's a lie. They were always going to leave, because people like them don't keep people like you. They use you. They take what they need, and then they walk away without looking back. And what did you do? You let them. You let them walk away without a word. No fight, no anger, no revenge, just silence. And that silence, that's what's killing you. Not them, not what they did, not even the memories. It's your silence, your refusal to respond, to fight back, to demand the damn respect you deserved. You just let them take pieces of you and leave like you were nothing. And now, you're sitting in the wreckage, trying to put yourself back together with nothing but shattered pieces and empty hands. But let me tell you something about people like us. We don't stay broken. No. We rebuild. We rise. Not as the same fools we once were. No. We rise as something else. Something colder. Something sharper. Because once you've seen the truth, once you've felt that kind of betrayal, that kind of abandonment, you can't go back to being the person you were before. That person is dead. And maybe that's a good thing. Maybe that person needed to die so you could finally see the world for what it really is. Because now, you know the game, you know the rules, and more importantly, you know what happens to people who refuse to play. They get left behind, forgotten, turned into nothing more than a memory that nobody ever really cared about in the first place. So tell me, what are you going to do? Are you going to sit here waiting for an apology that will never come, wasting your days, hoping that someone, anyone, will come back and tell you that you mattered? Or are you going to take back your life? Because let me tell you something. No one is coming to save you. No one is going to reach out a hand and pull you out of this. It's just you now. And that is your greatest power. Because when you stop waiting, when you stop hoping, when you finally accept that you are on your own, that's when you become untouchable. That's when you stop bleeding. And when you stop bleeding, you stop being prey. Build yourself back from the ground up, not as the weak, naive version of yourself they destroyed, but as something else entirely. Build yourself into something they fear, something they can never hurt again. Because the best revenge, it's not rage, it's not violence, it's not even proving them wrong. It's becoming something so far beyond their reach that they can't even comprehend the version of you that rises from these ashes. You see, they expect you to break. They expect you to wither away, to disappear into the background, to fade into nothingness. They expect their absence to be your downfall. But what they don't expect is for you to turn that silence into something unstoppable. Because they need your pain. They need your tears, your suffering, your desperate attempts to make them care. But the moment you stop giving them that, the moment you stop reacting, they lose control. They lose their grip. They lose the power they had over you. And that is your greatest weapon. Stop waiting. Stop bleeding. Stop being the person they left behind and start becoming the person they'll regret losing. And when that day comes, the day they finally turn around and realize you're not where they left you anymore, oh, it's going to hit them like a freight train. Because they thought you'd always be there, didn't they? They thought they could walk away, come back when it suited them, dip in and out of your life like it was some open door waiting for their return. But what they don't understand, what they never saw coming, is that you've changed. That silence they left you in, that emptiness, it didn't break you. It built you. It forced you to face the ugliest parts of yourself, the parts that cried out for closure, for answers, for justice. It forced you to stand in front of the mirror and confront the raw truth of your own worth. And now, you're not the same person they left behind. Now, you are something else entirely. You see, people like them, they don't expect consequences. They don't expect the people they use to ever outgrow them. They don't expect the ones they discarded to rise from the wreckage stronger than before. No. They expect the same weak, broken soul they walked away from. They expect the same desperate look in your eyes, the same quiet yearning for their validation. But when they come back, when they reach out, testing the waters, trying to see if they still have a grip on you, what do they find? Nothing. No response. No emotion. Just cold indifference. And that is what destroys them. Because they need you to care. They need you to react. They need to know they still have some hold on you. Some piece of your soul still tethered to their memory. But when they find nothing, when they realize they no longer live in your head, no longer dictate your emotions, no longer hold even the smallest part of you in their hands, that is the moment they lose. Because people like them don't fear losing you. No, they never thought they had to. What they fear is losing their power over you. And when that power is gone, when you've built yourself into someone untouchable, into someone who doesn't need them, want them, miss them, that's when the real panic sets in. That's when they start replaying every moment, every choice, every damn mistake that led them to this point. And it won't be some sudden epiphany, some grand realization of how much they hurt you. Number, it will be selfish, it will be bitter, it will be the slow, creeping dread that they lost something valuable, something irreplaceable. And the best part, it will be too late. Because you don't live in the past anymore. You don't sit around waiting for ghosts to come knocking. You don't waste your breath on people who wouldn't spare a second of theirs for you. Number, you are moving forward, building, creating, becoming something they could never even dream of. And they are stuck in the same cycle, the same empty, meaningless patterns, forever chasing a version of you that no longer exists. That's the real joke, isn't it? That they thought they could leave you behind and stay the same, never once considering that you might outgrow them. Never once thinking that maybe, just maybe, you would take that pain, that abandonment, that silence, and turn it into something unstoppable. But now, they see it. And now, they are the ones haunted by what they lost. And that is your victory. Not in screaming, not in revenge, not in proving them wrong, but in proving yourself right, in becoming someone they can never reach again, in standing so far beyond their grasp that they realize, for the first time, that they never really knew you at all. Because the person they knew, the person they left, that person is gone, and in their place stands someone untouchable. And now, in the silence they left behind, you've built something they never saw coming. A mind too sharp to be manipulated, a soul too resilient to be broken, a heart too scarred to be played with again. And that terrifies them, because people like them, they need someone to control. They need someone to feed off of. Someone who will keep handing over pieces of themselves until there's nothing left. But you're done giving. You're done bleeding for people who never once tried to stop the bleeding. It's funny, isn't it? How they never noticed when you were drowning. But now that you've found solid ground, now that you've clawed your way out of the wreckage they left you in, now they suddenly care, but not about you. No. They care about what they lost, about what they let slip through their fingers while they were too busy chasing things that never mattered. But here's the thing. They don't get another chance. They don't get to come back, knocking at your door, acting like nothing happened. Because while they were out there, wasting time, playing games, treating people like they were disposable, you were evolving. You were learning. You were becoming something far greater than they ever could have imagined. And now they are nothing but a footnote in your story. A reminder of who you used to be. A lesson burned so deep into your skin that you will never ever let it happen again. Because that's the difference between you and them. They destroy and move on. never stopping to see the damage they've done. But you took that destruction and built something out of it. You took the broken pieces and turned them into armor. You took the silence they left you in and turned it into power. And now you're the one who gets to decide who has access to you. Now you're the one who controls the narrative. And they're the ones left wondering how they lost someone who would have given them the world, wondering when exactly they went from being the center of your universe to just another name you don't even flinch at anymore. Wondering if maybe, just maybe, they made the worst mistake of their life when they decided you weren't worth keeping. And you won't even bother answering because they expected you to stay hurt, to stay waiting, to stay broken. But you took that pain and sharpened it into something lethal. You took every betrayal, every rejection, every moment of neglect, and turned it into fuel. And now you burn too bright for them to even look at. And that is justice. Not in the way they understand it, not in vengeance, not in spite, but in the quiet, undeniable fact that you no longer need them, that you never really did, that the only thing they ever had power over was the version of you who still cared. But that version is gone now, and in its place stands someone who has no more space for their ghosts. And that is the end of their story in your life. No grand confrontation, no final words, no dramatic send-off, just silence. Cold, merciless silence. The same silence they left you in. Only now it's their turn to drown in it. And in that silence, in the cold void where your presence used to be, something shifts. Not for you. You've already moved on, already turned your back, already carved a path so far from them that they wouldn't recognize you if they tried. No. The shift happens in them. It creeps in slow, a whisper at first, a small tug in the back of their mind, an unease they can't shake, a quiet, suffocating sense of loss that gnaws at them when they least expect it. Because for the first time, they're forced to sit with themselves. No distractions, no reassurances, no comfort in knowing that you'll be there when they need you. Just them, alone, and the weight of everything they never saw coming. At first, they tell themselves it's nothing. They push it down, ignore it, drown it out with noise, with people, with anything that can make them forget. But forgetting, that's the one thing they can't do. Because you weren't like the others. You weren't someone they could replace with a cheap imitation. And the deeper they sink into that realization, the more they start to see it. The moments they never truly appreciated. The kindness they mistook for weakness. The loyalty they treated like an afterthought. It all plays in their mind like a film they can't pause. A cruel, relentless reminder that the thing they took for granted is gone. And this time, It's not coming back, and that's the thing about people like them. They never notice the gravity of their choices until it's too late. They never stop to think that maybe, just maybe, the way they treated you had consequences. That maybe there would come a day when you wouldn't be waiting anymore. That maybe the silence they once ignored would one day be deafening. And now, they're suffocating in it. Because every laugh they hear that isn't yours, every conversation where your name is nothing but a ghost of a memory, every moment they look around expecting to see you and find nothing but emptiness, it all hits them like a slow, brutal realization they can't escape. And you don't even notice. You don't feel the shift. Don't sense the weight of their regret. Don't hear the echoes of their longing. Because you've moved so far past it that it doesn't even register anymore. You're not looking back, you're not waiting for a reckoning, not hoping for an apology, not holding out for some grand moment where they realize what they lost. No. You are too busy building, creating, living. Too busy filling your world with things that make you whole, with people who don't make you question your worth, with a purpose so strong that their absence doesn't even cast a shadow anymore. And that is what destroys them the most. Not your anger, not your hatred, not even your pain, but your absence, your complete, unshakable, undeniable absence. Because while you were always prepared to live without them, they never prepared to live without you. And now they're the ones left, wandering through the ruins of what they destroyed, searching for a way back into a life that no longer has space for them. But you keep walking, keep moving forward, never pausing, never hesitating, never letting the ghosts of the past pull you back into a place you've already outgrown. Because this is what freedom looks like. Not revenge, not retribution, just a quiet, unwavering refusal to ever let them take another piece of you again. And that is your victory. Because in the end, the ones who thought they could live without you are always the ones who realize, too late, that they never truly could. And in that realization, in the slow, agonizing descent into the void of their own making, they finally understand the weight of what they've done. But it doesn't come as some grand revelation. No. There's no poetic moment where they suddenly grow a conscience, no sudden wave of guilt that washes over them and forces them to change. It's slower than that, more insidious. It creeps up on them when they least expect it, slipping through the cracks of their carefully constructed facade, seeping into the spaces they never thought to protect. At first, it's just a thought, a passing regret, a small, sharp ache they brush off without a second glance. But then it starts to linger. It starts to grow, because they start to notice things. The silence that used to bring them peace now feels hollow. The distractions that used to keep them entertained now feel meaningless the people they replaced you with, they don't quite measure up. The laughter isn't as genuine. The conversations don't hold the same weight. The connection isn't there. And little by little, piece by piece, they start to feel it. That absence, that loss, that unbearable, suffocating realization that the one thing they took for granted was the one thing they should have held on to. But the worst part, the part that eats at them the most, it's not just that they lost you, it's that you never looked back, that you never came crawling, never waited, never let their absence consume you the way they assumed it would. No, no, no. You kept moving, kept building, kept becoming something they no longer have access to. And that is what breaks them. Because they never thought they'd have to miss you. They never thought you'd actually be gone. But now, every empty space in their life serves as a reminder. Every time they reach for their phone and stop themselves before dialing your number. Every time they hear your name in passing and feel that slow, sinking weight in their chest. Every time they see you thriving, smiling, living, and they realize with gut-wrenching certainty that they are no longer part of that world. And oh, how that must eat at them, to know that they once had a place in your life, a space carved out just for them, and they threw it away like it was nothing, to know that no matter what they do now, no matter how much they might wish they could go back and change things, they never will. Because some mistakes, some betrayals, they don't come with second chances. Some doors, once closed, never open again. And yours is sealed shut. Because you don't wait for people to realize your worth. You don't sit around hoping they'll wake up one day and see what they lost. You don't waste your time being someone's regret. Number. You move forward. You rise. You become something greater than they ever could have imagined. And them? They stay trapped in the wreckage of their own choices, haunted by the weight of what could have been. And that is justice. Not in the way they expected, not in fire and fury and vengeance, but in the quiet, undeniable truth that you won't even give them the satisfaction of knowing they still exist in your mind. That they are nothing but a shadow, a distant memory, a lesson learned and never repeated. Because in the end, the cruelest thing you can do to those who once took you for granted is to show them, without a word, without a glance, without a single ounce of effort, that you never needed them to begin with. And so, the story plays out exactly as it was meant to. Not with a dramatic reunion, not with some hollow apology, not with the closure they think they're owed. No. It ends in silence, in the same empty, deafening quiet they left you in. Only this time, it's not your burden to bear. This time, it's theirs, and they will sit with it. They will live in it. They will carry it with them in every empty space, in every hollow interaction, in every sleepless night, where they stare at the ceiling and feel the weight of their own actions pressing down on them like a sickness they cannot cure. Because they thought they had forever. They thought they could come and go as they pleased, dip in and out of your life, keep you there like some safety net, some last resort, some backup plan. But people like you don't wait forever. You don't sit in the ruins of what was, hoping for something that will never be. You take what you learned, you take what you survived, and you use it to build something unbreakable. And now, they are the ones left searching, left wondering, left wishing for something that no longer exists. They will watch from a distance, watch as you carve a new path, watch as you become someone untouchable, someone they no longer have access to. And that will be their punishment. Not because you sought revenge, not because you played their game, but because you didn't. Because you refused to let them define you. Because you stopped being a player in their story and started writing your own. And one day, oh, one day, it will hit them in full force. Not in a moment of anger, not in a moment of regret, but in a moment of absolute, inescapable clarity. When they realize that they had something real, something rare, something irreplaceable, and they let it slip through their fingers. And the weight of that realization, the knowledge that they will never have another chance, that will be the heaviest thing they ever have to carry. But you won't even notice, because by then, you will be so far gone, so far ahead, so completely free that their absence will not even register as a loss. It will be nothing more than a distant echo, a whisper lost in the wind, a lesson written in the past, but never carried into the future. Because you are done being someone's regret. You are done being someone's afterthought. You are done being someone's second choice. From this moment forward, you are only moving in one direction, forward, and nothing, no one, not even the ghosts of your past will ever be able to pull you back again.